Welcome to the most exciting coin discovery of your life. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and ultra-rare bicentennial coins, an ordinary-looking coin with the power to make you a millionaire overnight. If you've got this hidden gem in your pocket, your entire future could change in an instant. Let's unlock the secrets behind this legendary piece of treasure. First up, the 1974 bicentennial New Zealand 20-cent coin stands as a mysterious and fascinating treasure in the world of numismatics. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary coin, carrying the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the traditional design of a Maori carving on the reverse. But beneath its simple metallic shine lies a story that collectors whisper about, one of rarity, hidden wealth, and unimaginable fortune. Not every 1974 20-cent coin is special, but the ones tied to extremely rare minting errors, unique strikes, or limited ceremonial issues are said to command values beyond belief, turning an everyday pocket piece into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. To understand why this coin has become so sought after, you need to step into the history of New Zealand's currency during the 1970s. The country had recently shifted to decimal currency, 1967, and the designs were fresh, modern, and symbolic of the nation's culture. In 1974, when the 20-cent coin was minted, the Royal Mint and New Zealand's Treasury were experimenting with striking techniques, die varieties, and commemorative issues. Hidden among the millions of regular strikes, a handful of coins are believed to have been struck with unusual variations, double dies, off-center strikes, or proof-like finishes that were never meant for circulation. These are the coins that now fuel legends of extreme value. Collectors know that rarity is what turns a coin into a fortune, and the 1974 Elizabeth II 20-cent embodies that principle. Imagine a coin that most people would overlook, sitting quietly in a jar of change, but when inspected closely, shows a minting anomaly or a unique finish. Such coins are so rare that only a handful may exist worldwide, making them virtually priceless in auctions. For serious collectors, owning one is like holding a piece of history that no money can truly measure. That's why the whispers of its value soaring into the millions of dollars are not mere exaggerations. They are the result of scarcity meeting insatiable demand. What makes the legend of the 1974 bicentennial coin even more thrilling is its connection to a time of national pride. The 1970s were an era of growth, when New Zealand embraced both its British heritage and Maori culture in its coinage. The coin itself became a symbol of identity, bridging monarchy with indigenous artistry. This cultural resonance gives the coin far more than just metallic worth. It carries emotional and historical weight, a factor that collectors place enormous value upon. It is not just a coin, it is a national story pressed in a copper nickel. Over the decades, tales have emerged of ordinary people stumbling upon one of these coins by sheer luck, only to discover later that what they held was not worth mere cents, but potentially life-changing sums of money. Imagine finding one tucked away in a family heirloom box, or receiving it in spare change at a shop, never realizing that it carried the potential to make you a millionaire overnight. This is what makes the story of the 1974 20-cent coin so electrifying. It feeds into the dream that anyone, anywhere, could suddenly strike gold in the most unexpected form. Auction houses around the world have seen fierce bidding wars over New Zealand's rarest decimal issues, and the 1974 Elizabeth II coin remains one of the most talked-about sleepers in the numismatic world. Collectors in Europe, America, and Asia, alongside dedicated New Zealanders, are always on the lookout for one of these elusive specimens. When one surfaces, often from a private collection or hidden estate, it sparks international headlines. The sheer competition drives prices higher and higher, ensuring that its mythic reputation as a millionaire-maker coin continues to grow. The excitement surrounding this coin is not just about wealth, it is also about legacy. Whoever owns one of these bicentennial 20-cent pieces is not merely a collector. They're the custodian of a piece of world history, tied to Queen Elizabeth II's reign and New Zealand's evolving cultural narrative. It is an artifact that future generations will envy, study, and treasure. Its value will not diminish with time. On the contrary, it will likely grow as the number of surviving examples dwindles and its legendary status strengthens. In the end, The 1974 New Zealand 20-cent coin is far more than pocket change. It is a story of mystery, heritage, and fortune wrapped in a small circle of metal. For those lucky enough to hold one of the rarest varieties, it truly has the power to change destiny overnight. It is a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary objects hide the most extraordinary secrets. And in the glittering world of rare coins, this humble 20-cent piece remains a crown jewel, capable of turning a collector into a billionaire in a single breathtaking moment. Second, the 1982 bicentennial New Zealand 20-cent coin is one of those pieces that appears ordinary to the untrained eye, but carries an aura of mystery and untold wealth in the numismatic world. Featuring the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the culturally rich Maori carving design on the reverse, it is not just a coin. It is a symbol of history, heritage, and fortune. Collectors across the globe whisper about its rarity, and for those lucky enough to own a special variety or error strike from this year, the rewards could be beyond imagination, worth millions in today's market. The year 1982 holds a special place in New Zealand's coinage history. While millions of 20-cent coins circulated as everyday money, a tiny fraction were struck with unusual variations or minting errors, making them stand apart from the rest. These elusive specimens are the ones that collectors prize above gold and silver. Whether it's a double-die obverse, off-center strike, or an ultra-rare proof version, the 1982 Elizabeth II 20-cent has gained a reputation as the coin that can turn ordinary people into millionaires overnight. What makes this coin so captivating is its dual character. On one hand, it was pocket change in the hands of everyday New Zealanders in the 1980s, buying groceries, newspapers, or bus rides. On the other, in its rarest form, it represents an object of unimaginable value, with the power to elevate its finder into a whole new level of wealth. It is this contrast, the humble and the extraordinary, that gives the 1982 coin its almost mythical reputation in numismatic circles. Beyond its financial worth, the coin is steeped in cultural and historical meaning. The obverse honors Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch who ruled through decades of change, while the reverse proudly displays a Maori carving, tying the currency to the indigenous spirit of New Zealand. This blending of monarchy and Maori artistry gives the coin a timeless cultural power, making it more than just currency. It is a storytelling artifact pressed into metal. Over the years, stories have circulated of collectors and ordinary people discovering these rare 1,982 varieties in jars of change, tucked away in drawers, or hidden in old family coin collections. Each story fuels the legend further, because these aren't just coins. They are keys to unimaginable fortune. Imagine the thrill of realizing that the coin you've had for decades is not worth cents, but millions of dollars, capable of rewriting your destiny in a single moment. The international coin market has magnified the prestige of the 1982 20-cent auction houses in Europe, Asia, and the United States have seen frenzied bidding wars when rare New Zealand decimals appear, particularly from this year. Serious collectors, eager to secure what they see as a crown jewel of modern coinage, are willing to pay astronomical sums. Each time one surfaces, its value climbs higher, reinforcing its reputation as the coin of millionaires. But the true power of this coin goes beyond auctions and collectors. It lies in its symbolism of chance and destiny. To hold one of these rare bicentennial 20-cent pieces is to hold a ticket to transformation. It represents not only wealth, but the rare possibility that something ordinary can change your life forever. For this reason, it inspires both dreamers and collectors alike, feeding the imagination and sparking the hope that fortune could be waiting in the most unexpected places. In the end, the 1982 bicentennial New Zealand 20-cent coin is far more than just pocket change. It is a treasure disguised as an everyday object, a bridge between culture and monarchy, and a beacon of hope for those who still believe in sudden, life-altering discoveries. For those lucky enough to own one of the rare varieties, this coin is a fortune maker, a legacy, and a symbol of destiny. Truly, it is the coin that could make you a billionaire overnight. Third, the 1988 New Zealand 20-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is far more than a piece of metal used for change. It is a coin wrapped in mystery, wealth, and cultural pride. For most people, it circulated quietly in the pockets of ordinary New Zealanders during the late 1980s, buying a bus ticket or a loaf of bread. But for collectors and fortune seekers, the 1988 edition is whispered about as a millionaire maker, a coin capable of transforming lives overnight, thanks to its rarity and the staggering values attached to its unique strikes and error versions. This coin's design is already iconic. The obverse carries the refined portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, symbolizing New Zealand's connection to the Commonwealth. On the reverse, the powerful image of a Maori carving, the Pakaki, speaks to the nation's indigenous heritage and cultural depth. It is this balance of monarchy and Maori artistry that makes the coin not only a financial prize, but also a cultural jewel. It is, in essence, a piece of New Zealand's identity pressed forever into metal. What makes the 1988 20-cent coin extraordinary is not the millions struck for circulation, but the tiny handful of rare specimens that emerged with unexpected anomalies. Coins with misstruck dies, double impressions, or unusual mint finishes are the ones that command astonishing values today. These rare survivors, often unnoticed for years, now fetch prices in the millions of dollars, with collectors from every corner of the world willing to outbid each other to secure a piece of this hidden treasure. The market has given the 1988 coin a legendary reputation because its story is one of transformation. Imagine discovering such a coin in your drawer after years of neglect and suddenly realizing it is not worth 20 cents but could be the golden ticket to a billionaire's life. That thrill, that possibility, fuels the passion of coin hunters and collectors alike. It is not just currency. It is destiny waiting to be discovered in the most ordinary of places. Beyond wealth, this coin carries a sense of timing and history. The late 1980s were a transitional period for New Zealand, with global markets shifting and cultural pride rising. The 1988 coin reflects that era, holding both modernity and tradition in its design. Owning it is like owning a time capsule, one that carries not just monetary value, but also the spirit of a nation at a pivotal point in its journey. Over the years, stories have emerged of families who unknowingly held one of these rarities, only to be stunned later by their discovery. Auction houses in Europe, America, and Asia have seen frenzied bidding wars over New Zealand's rarest decimals, with the 1988 20-cent often placed at the top of collectors' wish lists. Every time one surfaces, its price climbs higher, cementing its role as one of the most expensive modern-era coins in circulation history. The beauty of this coin lies in its paradox. It is ordinary yet extraordinary, humble yet powerful, small yet capable of rewriting an entire future. To hold one of the rare 1988 Elizabeth II 20-cent coins is to hold a fortune disguised as pocket change. It is both a collector's dream and a symbol of hope for everyday people, that something so small can carry unimaginable wealth. In conclusion, the 1988 bicentennial New Zealand 20-cent coin is not just money, it is a legend. It is a reminder that treasures often hide in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by a sharp eye or a stroke of luck. For those who find it, it carries the power to turn life upside down, to make millionaires, and to leave behind a legacy unlike any other. Truly, this coin is a miracle of metal, a tiny circle with the power to create billionaires overnight. Fourth up, the 1989 New Zealand 20-cent coin bearing Queen Elizabeth II is not just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of hidden fortune, cultural legacy, and numismatic magic. To the average person, it looks like any other 20-cent coin that circulated across the country in the late 1980s. Yet among collectors and treasure hunters, whispers of the 1989 edition's unimaginable value have turned it into a coin of legend, one that can change your life overnight if you happen to own one of its rarest forms. On the obverse, the coin proudly features the portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, dignified and timeless, while the reverse showcases the intricate carving of the Maori Pakaki, a guardian figure deeply tied to New Zealand's cultural roots. This perfect blend of monarchy and Maori artistry gives the coin not only financial worth, but also cultural and spiritual power, making it more than metal. It is a national story struck into copper-nickel. What elevates the 1989 20-cent coin into the realm of millionaire-making treasures is not its everyday strikes, but the rare anomalies that slipped through the minting presses. Collectors prize misstruck versions, double dies, off-center errors, or coins struck with unusually proof-like surfaces. These rare variations, believed to exist in vanishingly small numbers, are the ones that drive collectors wild, fetching prices in the millions of dollars at international auctions. Imagine the thrill of finding one of these rarities in your coin jar, or tucked away in a family keepsake box. That unassuming 20-cent piece could be worth more than a mansion, more than a fleet of luxury cars. It could be the key to a fortune beyond your wildest dreams. This possibility, this sudden doorway to wealth, is what has given the 1989 coin its legendary reputation as a billionaire maker in the world of numismatics. The late 1980s were a fascinating period in New Zealand's history, an era of economic shifts, cultural pride, and modernization. The 1989 coin reflects that transitional spirit, balancing tradition and progress in its very design. Holding one today is like holding a time capsule from that era, with all its weight of history, art, and destiny. It is this historical depth that adds another layer of value, making it priceless to collectors who see coins not only as money, but as living artifacts of the past. Stories continue to circulate of unsuspecting owners discovering that their 1989 20-cent piece is not ordinary, but one of the rarest treasures in circulation. Auction houses from London to New York, Sydney to Hong Kong, have witnessed frenzied bidding whenever one of these elusive specimens surfaces. Each sale pushes the price ceiling higher, proving that its legend is not only alive but growing stronger with every passing year. To collectors, the coin is a masterpiece. To dreamers, it is a beacon of hope. To its owners, it is destiny itself. The beauty of the 1989 20-cent coin lies in its paradox. Ordinary enough to blend into change, yet rare enough in certain forms to make its possessor a millionaire many times over. It is proof that the smallest things in life can sometimes hold the greatest powers of transformation. In the end, the 1989 bicentennial New Zealand 20-cent coin is more than a collectible. It is a legend written in metal, a fortune waiting to be discovered, a bridge between heritage and wealth. For those lucky enough to hold one of its rarest variations, it is nothing less than a miracle of destiny.